Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Stock Market Technical Analysis Daily. Glad to be here. Could not make it yesterday, folks. I was dealing with a rather set of wahala, so I'm not going to extend further into that, but it has to do with some security with my accounts on Google. Yeah, it was not a pleasant deal to go over. So glad to have the few souls who are here. Good morning, Miss Marcy. We see you in the live chat. Let's get going. Well, yeah, I missed most of the trading day yesterday. Well, it's happened. So those are things that happen. So one day is not is not all that. So this morning we are Thursday, April the 15th. Instead of it's not tax day in the US as is usually the case. I think that has been extended to next month. So we welcome Mr. T from across the pond, and let's take a look at the ETFs. SPY, QQQ, IWM, where they stand in regard to the overall market. Here's the daily chart of SPY. As you are used to right now, SPY has been just creeping up. I think it was Tuesday, yeah, because we were not together yesterday. On Tuesday, we were talking about 13 consecutive days of green candles. What guess what? On day 14, I believe both SPY and QQQ. Here's QQQ on here. Actually, yeah, this is a bearish engulf. Actually, one of the biggest now. This one, April the 5th, was a bigger candle overall in terms of its low to high. But yeah, yesterday all of the sudden, after just for no reason, that's how the stock market trades, right? And then today, so we closed yesterday at 336.51 on QQQ. Yeah, I know I jumped from SPY to QQQ, and then now all of the sudden we are gapping 3 points up, just like that. just like that. The trend definitely is bullish. The slope of the exponential moving average ticked. I mean, it decreased a little bit, but really not much. If anything, if the previous high, which is 334, 341.08 here, which was achieved on the 13th of April on Tuesday, if this QQQ is still above that, I mean, this still can just still continue rising up, and we are not even yet at earnings for the big component of QQQ. So imagine what it is going to be at this time next week when the like of Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Netflix, they start report. Oh, yeah, it's yeah. Let's see what's unsealed on that. So the similar type of pattern on here. The one that we have been saying all along that is bucking the trend, it's IWM, right? Yesterday, for the first time, it was really bullish. I thought, okay, fine, is this thing's going to be breaking out of this consolidation here? How many days has it been here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So but it just could not sustain staying above 225. So the alert, my alert here is definitely above 220. A close above 225 confirmed bullish nature for IWM here. Otherwise, we don't know. I mean, they can continue this sideways dance for as long as they want. They have done it here previously before actually coming down. So with these algos, you never know. So if anything, really, the slope of what could be giving away what the algos want to do here is the slope of the Bollinger Band, because you can see that the upper Bollinger Band is coming down, right? And then the middle of the upper Bollinger Band actually crossed yesterday below both exponential moving average EMA 8 and EMA 20 respectively in the yellow and the green line. They are virtually identical, right? So we are reading them here 220. Yes, you guys can see that 222.15 and 222.14. That's how this hasn't been going anywhere recently. It has to pick a direction on here. Let's say over the next week we will have definitely a direction. Your guess is as good as mine. There is no telling which direction this ETF is going. So that's what's going on here with at the high level with the US stock equity with the ETF. So as we approach 5:58 Pacific time, meaning it's the market's about to open in exactly 32 minutes. at 9:30 a.m. Eastern in New York. Let's take a look. Earnings season is upon us. So in earnings season, if this is your first time on here, I mean, you can do that any day, right? There is this tool, free tool that's called FinViz, and you can go in there. Let's see here. I've already done my filtering, but let me go ahead and do that live in front of everybody. We can never do it enough. So the usual filters on here from the descriptive. So they have a let's maybe take the time here and slow down on here. We have made videos on our YouTube channel where definitely you can spend more time doing it or review this video again, right? So they have descriptive when filters on here. So for us, we select optionable, the price range that we want, so above $20. Just messing up with some of the stock below $20, really difficult trading option on, believe me, that's just my experience. And then we want those stocks to have enough volume to ensure liquidity, yeah, because then the option, at least they tell us that, hey, there will be enough trader interested in trading the options. And just specifically, so if you do these first three on here, you're going to get a list of, I don't know, typically 1100 stock, 1100 something, typically that's the case, right? So let me do that here by removing which that I just did here to get just specifically the one that had earning yesterday and today. So oops, actually I'm just going to say any. All right, so when I say any, the output, it's returning 1125 stocks. But I mean, definitely we can see which one are moving in pre-market. Okay, here's QS. Oh my goodness, look at QS. It has just been on a ride recently. Wow. So QS is now breaking below 40, folks. That 40, from a technical point of view, has been support. 3 previous time at the level of 40, QS has been able actually to bounce. It does not seem to be bouncing, or maybe it's going to be bounced. In any case, it's provide an opportunity for trading on here. So let me write QS. This is definitely one that's a chart that I want to look at. I don't want to be looking at the chart later in the day and QS is trading at like 30 bucks. I'm like, oh my god. So something is going on QS. Either it's going to be bouncing out of this level, oh, it is, let's see, do we have, actually, we can take a look at QS charts. Yeah, let's do that here. Let's say, because that's one, wasn't something that I prepared. For me, I wanted to focus primarily today on stock that's, here we go. So here's the chart of QS. So dropping below 40 on here, the previous, yeah, 30. Trading at 37, I'm interested. So I don't know how cheap those options are, but you know how we love cheap option here, right? But yeah, something going on QS, dropping the support on here after sideways that has been going on since February in the range. Maybe sometime it has gone to 60 and then got rejected there violently. Yeah. So let's see now where QS the next support here, and it's not even a great support. That 30, we only have one touch. Yeah, plenty of room for this thing to be going down. The lower Bollinger Band stand at 35.70, so that will be the first test. A couple of dollars for QS is nothing. On the first 15-minute candle, it could definitely do that. I mean, if you're into getting dirty and trading puts, that's that's something on there. So QS is moving in pre-market. Another one that's moving in pre-market, SPC, Virgin Galactic Holdings, minus 5.8%. So hey, if you know of the strategy that we use your GangstA trade. If not, hey, this is our invitation for you to go to successfultrading.com and we can definitely teach you how to take advantage of stock that are gapping such as QS and SPCE in pre-markets. All right, that's on the bearish side. On the bullish side, yeah, we do not care about which direction that's we trade. On the bullish side, their technology, it's trading up at plus 7% at a cool price of $100, just like that. It has been itching higher and higher since February, where the stock was trading above 78 thereabout. It just slowly has been going up. So congratulations if you happen to be on Dale this morning. You have an 8% appreciation of your stock position. What else is moving on here that we know of? Futu. Oh yeah, we know Futu just because we see Futu names on here from time to time, and it amuses us greatly. All right, so that's a generic just filtering. So, but if we want to focus specifically, because this is earnings season, right? We want to focus specifically on just stocks that have earnings either yesterday after the market closed. So we can check here in this filter. So you go to custom and you check yesterday after market close and today before market opens, and you say okay. This bring you a nice list of 8 stocks. Yeah, 8 stocks that had earning yesterday, so after the market was closed, so meaning the first day to trade after the earning is today. So we have a list here of Citigroup, UNH, United Group Incorporated, TSM, Delta Airlines, Bank of America, PepsiCo, USB, the Charles Schwab Company. Yeah, they do trade. Trust Financial Corporation and Show Communication, and those. So here are the biggest mover here. It's Citibank. So Citi is trading at just shy of $75, and that price there, $75. Actually, we are going to go to the chart for Citi to showcase that fully. So let's do this. So this is Citi. This is the daily chart. As recently as March the 18th and March the 15th, 75 level, 75.59, 76.13 behave as resistance for Citi. So Citi is starting on here. Outside of the upper Bollinger on the daily charts, what say you? I say GangstA trade, folks. Yeah. So what type of GangstA trade can we set up on here on Citi? Because yeah, it's either it has enough momentum to break above these previous recent high on here above 75, or it will be we will get rejected again. So in the past, I don't have a quantitative analysis on Citi. That was a shock. As for those who know who quantitative analysis is, or if you don't, let me introduce that to you. We have studied here at Successful Trading the behavior of a set of stocks after the earnings, and for us, we can use this information in twofold to determine the stock that have the most potential of moving after the earnings. Why trade after earnings and not before earnings? Because market makers, they make a living off of traders who gamble before earnings. There is no telling, even when a stock beats the so-called earnings, which are doctored, massage, for a company to miss the earnings in the 21st century, my friend, it's extremely difficult. Yeah, because there's all sort of things that companies do. to, I mean, missing on revenue, yeah, that's possible, but the earnings per share, which is the net income divided by the number of shares, well, they have means of doctoring that. So missing earnings, or they can just give a guidance that's easily beatable, and in which case, well, the market could react to a weak guidance. Typically the markets actually react more on how the company guide than what the earning is. I've seen company come in and say, hey, we had a bad quarter, A, B, C, D happened, but we have a plan. We're going to do A, B, C, D, and we strongly believe that our guidance for the next quarter or next quarters will be much better. You will see that stock move positively. That's shocking could be shocking to traders, but the market is forward looking. So the point on here, I'm not here to talk about earnings of the type. So for us, we take a look at the quantitative behavior of stocks after the earnings on day 1, day 2, day 3, and we discover that there's plenty of opportunity to make money after a stock the days following earning release of the stock. And we know this is something that for us, we know we can teach you that. You will see that the implied volatility, which is one of the major component in the cost of option, it's moved higher prior to earnings and dropped down after earnings, meaning that options for any given stock in general will be much cheaper after the earnings are released. So that's, and since the stock are likely to move based on this research, then for us we can apply that. and we have seen great results out of this. So this gives us every single quarter is updated. Our subscribers, some of our subscribers at our highest package, you get access to this document for free. So if you don't have it, I will make sure, if you're a new subscriber on here recently, you will be getting this soon as I start teaching you what some of our strategies on here. So this fit nicely into our GangstA strategy, which we take advantage of gaps, because guess what happened after a stock deliver the earnings, it has a tendency to gap in either direction, and we take care of that. So I was looking for Citibank on here. For whatever reason, I don't have Citibank on here, so that was a boomer. But in any case, Citibank being going up in pre-market on here, it's at the level that's definitely worth a shot. So I encourage each and everybody to take a GangstA trade on it. So for me, let's see, I will need to go to the option chain though, in order for me to derive, to give you any type of help on the let's see. So I am looking at the option chain of, can we do that? Yeah, can I switch screen? I ought to be able to switch screens, right? If this computer has a mind of its own, so that I can share with you guys the option chain for Citibank. So here's the option chain for Citibank. How's the view like? Okay, let's illustrate. So the implied volatility for this expiration, April 21st, that you see there inside of Power A Trading, means the third Friday of April. So the monthly expiration, which will be tomorrow, April the 16th on Friday, right? So that's what they call April 21st. Do not be confused by that. Right? So on here, the implied volatility for this week expiration, because market makers know exactly when every earning is, it's all the way to 53%. You can tell me that, relatively speaking, is not that much. Yes, absolutely, because we have seen, if you don't know the type of implied volatility that we have seen on some of the stocks here, think 200% or above, 150, but this one 53. But comparatively, right, what we are looking here is the average, the 30-day average versus the current one. Yeah, the current one is higher because this week had earning, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. We have seen worse than that, definitely. If you have been trading for a while, you ought to know that. So what are we looking at here this morning? So this is the phenomenon that, let's see, I move my screen, but you guys cannot see. I want you to pay attention to the column called implied volatility change. This is the one that you will see after earnings that it reduces. So meaning, compared to yesterday and the day before, the implied volatility come down. It will even come further down when the market opens on here. So currently at $75, all of these options, let's say, what can we try to trade here on Citi? On Citi, on the downside, let's try to target, let's say, 70. Banks typically, you're not going to see banks, I hope we are wrong, but banks typically, you don't see like a 10% move, 7% move on a bank. They have some like that, so there's some type of big news. So the move on here on this one, it's, I don't know, it's up 2.8%. So what are we to expect over the course of the next 2 days? Because the expiration we're going to take will be tomorrow, right? April the 16th. So anything, let's say 71, $3. Yeah, so 71, 72 on the put side. And we're trying to get this for 10-15 cents. That's how we do it for GangstA trade. On the upside, I'm just going to use symmetrical type of value. So in case Citi decide actually to break out on the upside, what are we to expect on here? So let's try to go for 78. Yeah, that's 3 points up. 78, 79 calls. Yeah. 10-15 cents. That's more than enough. That's more than enough. It's okay. That's tiny trade on here. Let's just want things to go crazy on Citi. All right. So that's that there. So let's switch back to the chart, because we have other stock to show you. Oops, what happened? We have other stock to show you on that view on So yeah, we're going to put that tiny trade on CT, see what happens, because it's at the level where, hey, something ought to be, it need to happen. So um, there, starting outside of the upper Bollinger on the daily chart is definitely something I'm interested in. In case you're wondering, my bias in that type of scenario, it's on the put side. If you're into that type of thing. All right. So the other stock that we wanted to share with you here, if we go back to this, uh, that had earnings, is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. It's gapping slightly, not that much. I mean, 1.23%, but it's a setup that I'm really liking. Its chart. So let's go to the chart of TSM, and I believe there was a print in flow algo. I didn't recall really. So here's a stock that has been going nowhere over the last week. Obviously, the market makers knew that earnings would be coming, and even after earning up like less than 8 points, $120 stock. So this stock here needs to find its direction, right? Up or down. So the upper Bollinger Band, there's plenty of space left there if it's bullish, all the way to what's the upper 127 of the likes, and on the lower, if it breaks below the moving averages here, the yellow line and the green line, it has plenty of room to go down. What I've noticed also is, look at this, folks. January 14, 2021, the stock closed the day prior pretty much at the same level, and this is what transpired for its earnings. Yeah, so this is called quantitative analysis, meaning you look at the chart of a stock and to see what was the behavior of the stock the last time that the stock was there. As a matter of fact, if I look here, even let's say March the 14th, at this price, it went as low as 113.49. Yeah, it wasn't earning, but I'm talking about this earning here on January the 14th. That's the line, the green line on here. It was a massive run on that day from 123.45. Right now we are starting at 122.15. It went all the way to 134.65. I am interested, folks. I am so interested. I had no hesitation whatsoever sharing that inside of a GangstA Trade Alert. So TSM April the 16th, we set it up for 130, 132, 136 calls. We want to get those as cheap as possible, between 5 and 10 cents. And the 108, 110 puts for 5 to 10 cents as well. So it's actually our best GangstA trade of the day. We want to get those in those, and between today and tomorrow, we expect a move of some type for this stock to find its direction, because in the middle of nowhere, it has been going sideways for a purpose. Somebody was awaiting the announcement of its earning, and I would be remiss if let's go back to Finvies. So I wasn't sure what time the good people at Delta Airlines, they will be releasing the earnings on here, but I don't know if it's late or whatever, because between that information and which that I'm seeing here, oh, this thing is off, that's why. So haha, so CCC is actually already dropping a little bit here. But Delta Airlines, folks, this stock is trading at 49.02. I believe there's somebody on this call who will be interested interested in that, but definitely who can back me up on this, right? So yesterday, I think it was 2 p.m. Eastern, or whenever I was able to come back to my computer after my Wahala day dealing with my issues. There was a print in flow algo. Yeah, print in the same that a stock transaction. Notice for us, well, at least for me, yeah, my way of using flow algo, I focus more onto the print, meaning that stock transaction, not so much on the option flow. There are just too many to follow that. Oh, who's buying? And I don't know if, let's say, somebody could be buying calls and those calls could be hedged. You don't know that, and vice versa, right? But I know this much: when there's a transaction, a stock transaction on a stock, right? Let's say yesterday there was 2 million shares transacted on Delta Airlines. Earnings being today, meaning for me, somebody knew something. But there's something that they knew, they put that trade. They could have shorted the stock or they bought that stock, right? The price, we need to be patient. And I keep talking about patience in trading, right? when the price goes above the level at which that big transaction takes place, it gives you another direction. Meaning, in the case of, let's say, Delta yesterday, the transaction was about 48 something, but we closed at 48.8. We closed actually lower than that, so could have been, oh, okay, maybe they pretend that the stock is going down. But for me, the tell story was what? Very late yesterday, this stock Delta was trading at 47.80 or something, and I was looking at it, and then when the market closed, I saw that it was up. So for me, it gave us a hint. And we have seen a scenario like this one before. I mean, with another stock, it was August 25th, 2020. If most of you, but yeah, some of the traders, I don't know if they are in this show. There's nobody in this show. That's 6 viewers right now, right? Fantastic. So, Delta, folks, somebody knows something about Delta. Right now, it's trading above that print yesterday of 48 something. It's trading at $49 on something. Let's see how high it can go. So definitely, Mr. T. Let's cross our fingers. Hopefully, I'm rolling for that 10 bagger for you know who for le 20 avril, April 20th. Yeah. So that's our conclusion on here. Yes, folks, that's completely code, right? If you didn't understand that, that's fine. There's the one person who understood that. Trust me, he's in London, and I'm sure he's smiling right now in front of his screen. Let's see on here how much run Delta can have for us. Okay, thank you everybody. It is 9:20. I'm going to give you thank you, ready. I appreciate. I do this for people who show up, right? So the fact that there are 8 concurrent viewers, or how many playback that are, I don't know, folks. I don't know. As long as you guys show up, I'm going to continue to do it. And then when there's nobody, that's fine. I will just spend my pre-market with my papers and putting in my GangstA trade on my own. Thank you, everybody. Have a great trading session. Bye bye.